This Good Morning Northwest Morning Sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is 6:53. Time to get you ready to take on your Wednesday in the morning sprint. Sydney Charles is breaking down what we know about the bridge collapse in Baltimore. 6 people are now presumed dead.
But first, let's get to Mark talking about rain in the forecast today and tomorrow. Mark?
Picking it up on the radar as it continues to make its way into our area. So starting off the day dry, but we're going to have rain coming in for this afternoon and midday. So make sure that you're wearing the right clothing for that, especially if you have to be outdoors for any length of time. Temperatures, yeah, we're starting off cold up into Deer Park, 26 degrees, 29 9 Mile. As this comes in, if they don't warm up again, we could see some snow changing over to rain. 39 currently in downtown Spokane. Looking at our forecast for the day, we're going to warm up. We're going to be in the mid-40s throughout much of the afternoon. A high today of 48.
The University of Utah women's basketball team came to Spokane to focus on March Madness, but found themselves dealing with racist verbal attacks in Coeur d'Alene. Police and the FBI are now searching for who stalked, harassed, and shouted racial slurs at the visiting Utah Utes basketball team in downtown Coeur d'Alene. Now, during a press conference yesterday in downtown Coeur d'Alene, Police Chief Lee White said there is an ongoing investigation that now involves the FBI. He says detectives are still collecting evidence and interviewing witnesses. So far, no arrests have been made.
The University of Utah released a statement expressing concern about having to stay in Idaho in the first place, saying, quote, as we continue to heal, we remain very disappointed in the decision to assign our team to hotels such a great distance from the competition site in another state. We will work with the NCAA leadership to make it clear that being so far removed from the site was unacceptable and a contributing factor to the impact of this incident.
Now, the big question many are asking about why these women's teams had to book rooms so far away in the first place. The answer comes down to how these tournaments are set up. Now, for years, we've known that the first 2 rounds of the men's tournament was going to be played at the Spokane Arena. But the host schools for the women's tournament aren't announced until Selection Sunday, which was just 10 days ago. So when it came time for teams to book a hotel, there were very few rooms available. Once it learned about the incident, the NCAA says it immediately began to work with Gonzaga to increase security for the team, as well as find them a hotel in Spokane.
Idaho Governor Brad Little also released a statement saying there is no place for racism, hate, or bigotry in the great state of Idaho. You can read the governor's full statement and our continuing coverage on this story on KXLY.com.
The U.S. Coast Guard suspending its search for 6 people missing in Baltimore's Patapsco River after a cargo ship crashed into Francis Scott Key Bridge. Now, authorities have shifted to recovery operations this morning. The 6 people missing are presumed dead, and we now know the victims were part of a road crew working on the bridge at the time of the accident. Maryland's governor issuing a promise to their families as the operation turned from rescue to recovery. The governor of Maryland, the head of the National Transportation Safety Board, and the U.S. Transportation Secretary will join Good Morning America Live starting at 7 o'clock.
Former North Central High School teacher and coach took the stand yesterday for accusations of sexual misconduct with students. Andre Irvin was an instructor of a disciplinary class at North Central High School when the alleged incidents happened. Irvin told the jury a 16-year-old student who was in trouble for vaping had worn revealing clothing one day. He said she was staring at him in a way to garner his attention. Irvin claimed he went to help this student at her desk when he said he accidentally brushed up against her. He is also accused of looking at the 16-year-old's explicit photos, which he denies. The jury is expected to come to a verdict within the next couple of days.
A man is in jail for shooting and killing another man in northeast Spokane last week. According to Spokane police, 37-year-old Daniel Quinn faces charges of second-degree murder, felony stalking, and unlawful possession of a firearm. Now, last Friday, police were called to the intersection of Thor and Cleveland, where they found an unconscious man. They were not able to revive him. Quinn is in jail on $1 million bond.
Coming up next on Good Morning America, the latest on the investigation into Sean Diddy Combs and how he's responding after his homes were raided by federal investigators.
Well, paying with credit cards soon could get easier thanks to a historic new agreement on swipe fees. Visa and MasterCard have struck a $30 billion deal with retailers. For years, the 2 companies have charged a fee every time you swipe your credit card. This deal lowers those fees. Now, while stores, not shoppers, pay those fees right now, stores often pass along the costs onto its customers or simply require cash-only payments. The deal isn't done yet, though. It does require court approval, which is likely to take months.
There's a new addition to the WSU Spokane campus. This bronze Cougar Pride statue unveiled yesterday is a scaled-down replica of the Butch T. Cougar statue outside Martin Stadium in Pullman. WSU says Spokane is the third of its 5 campuses to receive a Cougar Pride statue. We'll be right back with the final check of weather right after this quick commercial break.